as notes in which I gave you, I think, primary growth. Then there was a supplementary sector, and then there was a third one. Can anybody name the third one? Can you name? हाँ बेटा. Sorry, which sector? Derived from sector. All right. Okay. अब इसमें work today, I will take up two case studies in order to understand these concepts. But before that, let me finish off with the takeoff stage, and then we will come to this case studies. Right now, as you can see, the takeoff stage is slide लगी हुई है यहाँ पे. अब इसके आगे लिखिएगा, जहाँ भी आपने वो 3 सेक्टर्स लिखे थे, उसके नीचे एक हेडिंग डालिए, सब हेडिंग केस स्टडीज ऑफ टेक ऑफ स्टेज. तो इसमें जो 2-3 चीजें आप डिस्कस करेंगे द केस स्टडी में, और कौन सी कंट्रीज इसमें डिस्कस होंगी, उसमें लिखिएगा द फॉर्मर टाइप ऑफ इवेंट्स, द फॉर्मर टाइप ऑफ इवेंट्स in which important political event that revolutionizes the political structure, that revolutionizes the political structure, that revolutionizes the political structure, or a sudden infuse of new techniques, or a sudden infuse of new techniques and methods of production attributed to formidable advances in science and technology. So what they are saying is that the takeoff stage might these kind of events could be at the backdrop of the takeoff stage. So they said that either it could be a upheaval of the political event that revolutionizes the political structure, or a sudden infuse of new technique and methods of production attributed to formidable advance in science, technique, or technology. We have an example in history which attributes to these changes. So just change the line and then write. The former type of events took place in nations like erstwhile USSR, that is when Russia was known as Soviet Union or USSR. So former type of events took place in nations like erstwhile USSR, East and West Germany, Japan, China and India. So ये सारी countries आपके case study हो सकती हैं. So USSR, East and West Germany. East and West Germany, अगर आप history पढ़ेंगे, then you will realize that after the Second World War, the eastern and the western part of the Germany was divided. Eastern part was taken over by Russians, and the western part, and hence the Berlin Wall came up. And that Berlin Wall was actually, demolished in 90s. So that East and West difference, where the communism actually prevailed in Eastern Germany, whereas capitalism prevailed in Western Germany, is still very evident. The eastern part of Germany is poor, as compared to the western part. So the takeoff stages and all these phases have come in these countries at different times and due to different reasons. So as it's written over here, that after USSR, the major mobility in terms of a political upheaval took place in 90s. In fact, in 89, when USSR was actually broken into small countries, and CIS, that is, came into existence. So, as I said, Japan, China, and India. These are also countries which can be a case study of the takeoff. Uh, and then the later category मतलब पहला वाला political upheaval and the later category meaning techniques and methods of production इसकी वजह से अगर take off हुआ है. So the later category may be observed in nations like UK, USA. ये technology की वजह से take off हुआ है इनके यहाँ. So the later category may be observed in nations like UK, USA, and OPEC countries. UK, USA, and OPEC countries. UK, USA, and OPEC countries. UK, USA, and OPEC countries, all three good examples of technological takeoff. इसमें लिखिएगा आगे events like industrial revolution. That was the brainchild of technological innovation in Britain. Events like industrial revolution, you can write industrial revolution in double quote also. So events like the industrial revolution, that was the brainchild of technological innovation in Britain. That was the brainchild of technological innovation in Britain since 1760s. Since 1760s. So industrial revolution ब्रिटेन में हुआ 1760s में. That has brought the take off. इसीलिए यूके की आपने ईयर देखिए तो 1760s के आसपास take off है. And the Manhattan Project, 1940s. I don't know whether you are aware of the Manhattan Project or not. Anybody know what was the Manhattan Project? Anybody has any clue what was the Manhattan Project? No idea. Okay. Manhattan Project, bracket में लिखिएगा 1940s. Actually, the Manhattan Project was a research project that took place in 1940s. In fact, to be precise, from 42 to 46 to actually produce the first nuclear weapon. It was known called the project was known as the Manhattan Project, and the project was under the direction of Major General Losley Groups of the U.S. Army. Not important. Anyway, if you want to know these kind of a turning points in the history, they all lead to takeoffs. Manhattan Project 1940s that signaled the arrival of USA. As soon as the USA dropped the bomb in atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the world knew that there is a new superpower has turned up, and that is America. So that also these kind of a turning point in history are also responsible for the takeoffs. So that signaled the arrival of USA on the world political scenario. On the world political scenario, and is a living example of the takeoff stage. And that takeoff stage, although USA had experienced takeoff stage way before the Manhattan Project, but the Manhattan Project was a turning point as America's arrival as a superpower in the world. So these are some of the turning points. These are the case studies in which you can do a research that what is your country's turning point. When does India, what are the various turning points in our political history? What are turning points in terms of our economic history? So that chronologically can be written. So these are some of the points in the takeoff. Now I'd like to come to drive to maturity. Then I have two case studies of takeoff only. Then we will study. Drive to maturity, as you can see, the slide is written. This stage takes place over a long period of time. As standards of living rise, the use of technology increase, and the national economy grows and diversifies. So it seems, the good things is happening in Drive to Maturity. The country is mature in terms of standard of living. Per capita income is rising. Of course, the technology is necessary, and the use of technology increases, and the national economy grows and diversifies. Diversification starts happening. Diversification can be in terms of a trade. Also, India had diversified its exports. So diversification will come in many ways in Drive to Maturity. Uh, ड्राइव टू मेच्योरिटी के कुछ और फीचर्स भी हैं, उसको लिख लीजिए. Drive to maturity in the context of Rostow theory refers to drive to maturity in the context of Rostow's theory refers to that state of economy and the society as a whole, refers to that state of the economy and the society as a whole when winning on all fronts, when winning on all fronts becomes a habit. So refers to that state of economy and the society as a whole when winning on all fronts becomes a habit. It is a period when a society effectively applies, it is a period when a society effectively applies the range of available modern technology. It is a period when a society effectively applies the range of available modern technology, the range of available modern technology, range of available modern technology to the bulk of its resources, to the bulk of its resources, and growth becomes the normal mode of existence. And growth becomes the normal mode of existence. Industries like heavy engineering, iron and steel, industries like heavy engineering, iron and steel, chemicals, machine tools, you know, automobiles, agricultural implements. I'm repeating this: heavy engineering, iron and steel, chemicals, machine tools, automobiles, agricultural implements take the driver's seat, meaning they become important in Drive to Maturity. So, Drive to Maturity has all these characteristics. Another important characteristics of the Drive to Maturity is, you can write it in a bullet point, the shift in the occupational distribution. This is another feature. Shift in the occupational distribution. Earlier, you saw that in the traditional society, people were engaged in agriculture sector more. In a precondition to take off and in a takeoff stage, you must have seen that people have started diversifying and industries started playing a role. But there is a proper shift in the occupational distribution during Drive to Maturity. So you can write in under this heading, shift in the occupational distribution. As due to industrial revolution, many industries, as due to industrial revolution, many industries were established in Britain. As due to industrial revolution, many industries were established in Britain. And the countries of Western Europe, established in Britain and the countries of Western Europe. As a result, the workforce was shifted from agriculture sector to manufacturing sector. The shift in occupational pattern is also an indication of Drive to Maturity. The workforce was shifted from agriculture sector to the manufacturing sector. So that also is one feature of Drive to Maturity. Another feature is the shift in the consumption pattern, shift in occupational distribution. Then there is a shift in the consumption pattern also. A new type of workforce was created, just right under this heading, shift in the consumption pattern. A new type of workforce was created, which was termed the white collar workers. Actually, started from here only. The term white collar and the blue collar worker. A new type of workforce was created, which was termed as white collar worker. White collar worker were mainly officials or managing officials of factories. They were mainly officials or managing officials of factories. So either white collar jobs meant either it will include officials or managing officials of a factory's governing body. And governing body, due to high income, their preferences were shifted to luxury goods. Their preferences were shifted to luxury goods. So shift in the consumption pattern, because people started first, consuming only necessities. But as the income grows, people started purchasing comforts and then end up in luxuries. So the higher the income, higher is the spending on luxuries, and hence the consumption pattern changes. As the consumption pattern changes, we know that in economics there are three questions that has to be answered: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. All these three things, what to produce and how to produce and how much to produce and who's the target, for whom to produce, or to answer all these questions, you can use just one word, and that is price decides all these things. So in this case also, if there is a demand, increased demand of all the luxury goods, then in that case the manufacturing will also shift towards the luxury goods. So there is a shift in the consumption pattern and the drive to maturity. Then C is shift in the consumption of leading sector. Shift in the consumption of leading sector. The change in composition, shift in the consumption, or बल्कि composition लिखे हैं यहाँ पे, shift in the composition of leading sector. The change in composition was observed uh, to to vary from country to country. The change in composition was observed to vary from country to country. The Swedish takeoff was initiated by timber exports. The Swedish takeoff was initiated by timber exports. So composition changes of what is leading the takeoff. Which sector is leading the takeoff? They are saying that in Sweden, the takeoff was initiated by timber exports, wood pulp, and pasteboards, pasteboard products and pasteboard products, followed by the emergence of railways, hydropower, followed by the emergence of railways. Earlier, they were engaged in timber and pulp and products that comes out of wood or timber. Later on, they diversify and products followed by the emergence of, as you can see, railways and hydropower, steel and animal husbandry and dairy products. So some sector, acts like a leading sector to lead the takeoff stage. In case of Sweden, it was timber export. In case of Russia, the Russian takeoff stage, the Russian takeoff started with grain exports. The Russian takeoff started with grain exports. So these are the economic factors. Economic factors which are responsible for drive to maturity. Economic factors which led to drive to maturity. So as you can see over here, can I have a next slide? In the next slide, you will see that after drive to maturity, our next slide. Age of high mass consumption. This is the last stage. So please remember these stages: traditional and precondition to take off, drive to maturity, and age of high mass consumption. And as you can see over here, the age of high mass consumption. At the time of writing, Rostov believed that Western countries he believed that United States occupied this last developed stage, so mostly notably high mass consumption. Country's economy flourishes in a capitalist system characterized by mass production and consumerism. Age of high mass consumption is the ultimate stage of consumerism, actually, that America has witnessed. So that's why he gave these, as I told you yesterday. He was an official in a John F. Kennedy, so he was also very much influenced by what was happening in America at that time. So, age of high mass consumption is characterized by these things also. इसमें लिख लीजिएगा. From maturity, the economy moves with growth. From maturity, that is from drive to maturity, the economy moves with growth. Growth have to be there. The parallel growth have to be parallel. So economy moves with growth to high mass consumption. To high mass consumption. The stage at which durable goods, consumer goods, the stage at which durable consumer goods like radios, TV sets, automobiles, refrigerators, college education, life in the suburbs, all these things, these are all said to be consumer, that is durable goods. So everybody wanted all these things. It's written over here. So in addition, the economy through its political process, its political process expressed a willingness to allocate increased resources to social welfare. Express willingness to allocate increased resources to social welfare and security. So even the government comes forward and want to help, resources to social worker and security because they work at the social welfare. Sorry. This stage was defined in terms of shift in emphasis. This stage was defined in terms of shift in emphasis from problem of production to the problem of consumption. From problem of production to the problem of consumption. अभी तक हम production के बारे में ही देख रहे थे, investment rate, saving rate, मगर age of high mass consumption में shift होता है from the problem of production अब नहीं है, अब problem है consumption की और कौन लोग इसको consume करेंगे. So age of high mass consumption is a very important stage which shows that the country has achieved country has achieved the goals which it has set for itself and is now in a comfortable position when it comes to per capita income and population. So these are some of the stages. Can I have a next slide? After age of high mass consumption, you will see, next slide. Okay. I think if we have read this, next slide. ही एक्चुअली एक सेकंड रोकना इसको. यहाँ पे एक चीज लिखी हुई है, अगर तुम लोग नीचे पढ़ो तो Rostov stages of growth model is one of the most influential development theories. ये तो आपको पता ही चल गया होगा अब तक. It was, however, also grounded in historical and political context. So that's what I said. That he was a very political person, and he was heavily bent towards capitalism and anti-communist. So he wrote Stages of Economic Growth. Was published in '60 at the height of the Cold War, and with the title जो था उसका वो था A Non-Communist Manifesto. नॉन कम्युनिस्ट मैनिफेस्टो. उसने उसको ग्रोथ थियरी का नाम नहीं दिया था. उसने कहा था स्टेजेस ऑफ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ में इसमें लिख जरूर रहा हूँ, बट ये एक्चुअली में नॉन कम्युनिस्ट मैनिफेस्टो के रूप में जाना जाएगा. So non-communist manifesto, he was literally telling countries who wanted to compete with USA to actually follow this model and don't follow communism. That was a clear message. So as you can see, the last line, it was overtly political. Next slide. After Rostow's model of 5 stages, and people did realize that it was very, politically. So Rostov was fairly. ये तो हम लोग कर चुके थे कल. Next slide. He was fiercely anti-communist. Okay, this is the first case study which you can read. So this particular case study will tell you how did the Singapore actually worked on the model of the Rostov block theory, and did got the success the Rostov was selling. So whatever Rostov was selling at that time, it seems it worked for Singapore. So you can take up Singapore example and can compare it with India, and then you will realize that what is the difference between the two. So can anyone wants to read this? It's just a case study, so that we can discuss it. Anybody? Just read the slide. Shraddha? She's there? No. Just read the slide. Anybody? Kajal, तुम read करो.
Okay, ma'am. Industrialization, urbanization, and trade in the vein of Rostov's model are still seen by many as a roadmap for a country's development. Singapore is one of the best examples of a country that grew in this way and is now a notable player in the global economy. Singapore is a Southeast Asian country with a population of over 5 million, and when it became independent in 1965, it did not seem to have any exceptional prospects for growth. However, it industrialized early, developing profitable manufacturing and high-tech industries. Singapore is now highly urbanized with 100% of the population considered urban. It is one of the most sought-after trade partners in the international market, with a high per capita income than many European countries.
Absolutely. So the key features over here, whatever she has read, you might have gathered. दो तीन चीजें यहाँ बहुत obvious हो रही हैं. उन terms का नाम लो. क्या चीज obvious है इस slide में? Singapore followed a Rostow state model, absolutely. उससे क्या हुआ उससे? What was the gain? What were the gain? Yes, Khan.
Ma'am, it industrialized early, and the population also seems to be like not really much.
Mm-hmm. So small population is actually a boon for a country. Yes, industrialization and
And
anything
ma'am, it is also a sought after trade partner in international
mm,
market.
that it has become now. But earlier industrialization, the first line states, industrialization, urbanization, and trade in the vein of Rostov's model are still seen by many as a roadmap for a country. This is how it works. ये तीन चीजें, इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन करिए, अर्बनाइजेशन करिए, और ट्रेड में अपना पार्टिसिपेशन बढ़ाइए. That is the model. Singapore did that, and it has become one of the major players in the global economy. And it has started, although it gained independence even after India. Can you see the date? It's written 1965, and India got independence in 1947. We actually lagged at various fronts. So this is a very prominent case study, a successful one. Next slide. Next slide. After this, you will realize. As you can see over here, this is the criticism of Rostov's model. But before getting to the criticism of the Rostov model, I will like to, apart from Singapore, I will discuss here one more case study, and that will be in terms of India. So just put the heading, Rostov stages and development in India. Rostov stages and development in India. इसमें लिखिएगा that in terms of development, India is known as emerging and developing country. India is known as emerging and developing country. India is known as emerging and developing country. As a result, there are various social and cultural changes happening. As a result, there are various social and cultural changes happening. In case of five stages of Rostov, in case of five stages of Rostov, uh, sub-Saharan countries are in the second stage. Sub-Saharan countries, that is Sahara के चारों तरफ की जितनी भी African countries हैं, sub-Saharan countries are in the second stage. Second stage से मतलब है pre-condition to take off. While developing economies like Vietnam and Thailand are in the stage 3. All of your case studies, बहुत सारी case studies से निकल सकती है. So अभी की ये data है, that is developing economies like Vietnam and Thailand are in the stage 3. So stage 3 is takeoff. Uh, you all know that the UK had this takeoff in 1800s when the Industrial Revolution was there. So where does the India stand in all this? UK, USA, and most Western European countries, they all are in the fifth stage. तो वो ये सब age of high mass consumption में है. So where does India stand in all these things? India is currently placed somewhere between stage 3 and 4. India is currently placed somewhere between 3 and 4. Can you tell me the 3 and 4 stages? Which one is third and which one is fourth? Which one is third?
Ma'am, takeoff.
Takeoff. And fourth?
Drive to maturity.
Drive to maturity. So India is somewhere between these two, between takeoff and drive to maturity. So it's a good sign, although it's a slow sign, because as you can see, the country like who got independence in 65 has done so tremendously. Of course, with a smaller proportion of the population. अब इसमें जो आपको देखना है कि ये कैसे आप प्रूव करेंगे कि इंडिया इज इन द थर्ड एंड फोर्थ स्टेज. You will have to talk about the features. Where is these changes taking place and how can you say that? So उसमें लिखिएगा changing industry in India, सब heading है. इसमें लिखिएगा there are 4 main types of jobs or industry in India. तो इसको हम सब जानते हैं कि 4 main type में कौन कौन सी हैं. Primary and secondary and tertiary and quaternary. 4 लिख लीजिए. Primary involves, raw material, land, agriculture, farming, forestry, primary industry. Secondary, manufacturing, food processing, secondary industry. Tertiary, services, which is providing services, doctors and teachers. And quaternary, Quaternary. Quaternary means ICT and research, computer software designers. So all 4 industries have the phases, and the existence of all these 4 industries decides in which phase the country is in. So it may surprise you that India is also very good in quaternary, because it has a lot of ICT based industries and a lot of ICT based software engineering and the designers. These kind of services are there existing in our country. Quaternary also includes scientists, and telecommunication industries, which we also have. So, लेकिन इसको अब आप कैसे कहेंगे थर्ड और फोर्थ स्टेज में? तो इसमें लिखिएगा that a country's industrial structure is the percentage of people working in each type of job. So a country's industrial structure is the percentage of people working in each job type जो ऊपर लिखा है, उसी से क्लियर हो जाएगा स्टेजेस का. आपकी परसेंटेज जैसे ही आप निकालेंगे नंबर ऑफ पीपल वर्किंग इन ईच टाइप ऑफ इंडस्ट्री, वहीं पे निकल आता है, बिकॉज एटलीस्ट 60 to 65% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन स्टिल एंगेज इन प्राइमरी सेक्टर ऑफ योर्स. तो आप कितना भी उसको whatever glitz and glamour you show in terms of the services sector, still the reality remains that your percentage, the maximum percentage of the population is still engaged in agriculture sector. So that is the major problem. So you have to change this balance. This balance have to be changed if you want to succeed. अब देखिएगा, up until 1980s, India's main type of industry was primary. तो ये सब क्लियर है बिल्कुल कि 80 के दशक था, it was a primary sector that was dominant. So up till 1980s, India's main type of industry was primary sector or primary. From late 80s, the Indian government encouraged foreign transnational corporations, that is TNCs. You can also write MNCs, both. So Indian government, as I always say, that the liberalization phase did start at 80s, and the Indian government did encourage the foreign transnationals, corporations or TNCs and MNCs to come and invest in India or to set up within the country. That resulted in secondary jobs in manufacturing. That resulted in creating secondary jobs in manufacturing. So factory workers earn more money. Workers earn more money. तो जब ज़्यादा मनी आ जाता है तो सर्विसेज की रिक्वायरमेंट बढ़ती है. If you have more income, तो फिर आपको कुक भी चाहिए, फिर आपको द क्लीनिंग लेडी भी चाहिए, फिर मेड भी चाहिए. ये सब सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं. और जितनी भी सर्विसेज आप कॉल पे अपने रखती हैं, दैट इज ऑन कॉल or takeaways and all that, these are all services which you are asking, but there has to be one prerequisite that you should have an income to do that. So the factory workers earn more money, which means that they can afford to buy services. Such as entertainment and healthcare. तो तब इन सर्विसेज की मांग बढ़ती है. And then there was additional wealth. ये change तो हुआ ही. 80s में there was one more thing happened. The additional wealth generated from the changing industrial structure in India. The additional wealth generated from the changing industrial structure in India has created a multiplier effect. It has created a multiplier effect, which means when one thing improves, it allows other elements to improve too. When one thing improves, it allows other elements to improve too. So multiplier effect started happening in India. Then there is another change, positive change that came in India. Although ये composition change हुआ, और changes आए in terms of population structure. ये एक अलग case study है. ये population structure में change हुआ. Government introduced birth control. Government advertised birth control. And government started giving free birth control. That also helped in changing the population structure. When it comes to population, the figures are, dramatic in India. It's so dramatic that if I'll give you 2016 data, the data is very staggering. If you want to write, you can write in 2016, India held 1/6 of the world population. Look at the data. In 2016, India held 1/6 of the world population lives in our country. World population. Annual population growth rate of 1.2%, which Rosto said should be between 1 and 1.5%. So that is the positive trend, that it had an annual population growth rate of 1.2%. Okay, and had one of the youngest population in the world. 65% of the population is below the age of 35. 65% of the population, that's a large chunk. Major population is young. So 65% of the population was below the age of 35. Demographic dividend. This is demographic dividend. When somebody asks you what is the demographic dividend, the demographic dividend is that 65% of a country's population is below the age of 35. अब ये सिनेरियो है as far as population structure is concerned. So you have to find a new policy, to train this youth and to use the productivity which they can offer. Then, in terms of the population, some positive things also happen. Uh, uh, because of the birth control, the population growth rate is slowing. So you can write an example of Kerala. And this is particularly the case in a certain state of Kerala. Kerala is a good case study where a number of significant changes are taking place. So, पहला लिख लीजिए. पहला significant change आया. Women's health in Kerala is the best in all of India. Women health in Kerala is best in all of India in terms of nutrition, in terms of post-pregnancy, pre-pregnancy, natal charts and all that. Women in Kerala seems to have an upper hand, so best in all of India. People can easily gain access to health centers, especially in rural areas. So that is the requirement which Kerala fulfills. The rest of the country don't. So that is why they have mentioned Kerala separately. Of course, we all know about the literacy rate in Kerala. It's very high, and 85% of the women are literate in Kerala. So it's a very good figure when it comes to take off state. Mm. Then there is another positive trend. What is happening is because of educated young females began to follow career path. As a result, they marry later in the later stages, and they have lesser children because the fertility age reduces that way. If you get married early, the fertility age increases. So if the women marry in the later stages, then that way she can only give birth to let's say 1 or 2 children. So that way the population also got controlled. Of course, contraceptions or the birth control, play pills and various condoms and all that are given freely in the centers, various health centers in Kerala. Not only Kerala, it's all around the country. But then again, it's not looked as a taboo in Kerala. So contraception is more widely available in Kerala, and couples can plan when they have children. So that kind of a thing also went in favor of India, but India has a very large population. Then the role of TNCs is very important in takeoff. So TNCs ने क्या किया आपके यहाँ आके? TNCs, as I said, are transnational corporations. As you all know, have built call centers, KPOs, BPOs, ये सब TNCs में बनाया आपके यहाँ के. So the advantage of TNCs were ये हुआ, इसका period लिख लीजिएगा. Of course, it's in 90s only. लेट 80s और 90s में TNC की एंट्री हुई है आपके कंट्री में. So transnational corporations are bigger than the multinationals. So TNC have created jobs and offered education and training to employers. तीन चीजों के फ्रंट में बहुत अच्छा काम किया. It have created jobs and offered education. TNC have created jobs and offered education and training to employers. And offered education and training to employers. Positive step. Then the additional wealth has led to the multiplier effect. As I said, it has given a wealth in the hands of people, and that has created a multiplier effect. And then this has also led to the improvement in the infrastructure of the country. The infrastructure of the country has been improved. So another positive point of TNCs. Created jobs, have also created a lot of research centers in our country. Uh, then India's space, or rather the India's image in the world as a world trading partner has also changed. Political and trading relationships have changed as a result. India's imports and exports have also changed remarkably. Earlier, India's imports used to be most of a crude oil. So India imports raw material and products from many countries. So India imports raw material and products from many countries. The highest value of imports come from China, UAE. ये import partners हैं आपके. China, UAE, Saudi Arabia and USA of course. यहाँ से इंडिया import बहुत करता है. And what do we import most? Crude oil, gold, silver. India export, the larger exports or the chunk is taken by crude oil. Then comes the gold, silver, electronic goods, and machinery. So this is the major imports, and these are our major trading partners in terms of imports. In terms of exports, our trading partners are different. The highest value of exports go to USA. When it comes to exports, our trading partners are different. The highest value of exports go to USA, UAE, Singapore, and China. So USA, UAE, the country which have actually got independence after us, are purchasing most of our things. So Singapore is also one of our biggest trading partners in terms of exports. And what do we export? We export petroleum products. Petroleum product means हम crude oil मंगाते हैं और हमारे यहाँ refineries हैं. We convert this crude oil into various petroleum products ranging from LPG, CNGs to various other products. We also clean the fuel and send it to various countries. So it's not that we are not oil rich country, but we do know how to refine. So that's another plus point. So biggest export of petroleum products, jewelry, it's a finished jewelry, pharmaceutical products, a lot of medicines goes from India. You must have realized that when they are talking about vaccination. They are saying India is the country which can single-handedly, manufacture the vaccine for all over the world. इतना जबरदस्त setup है pharmaceutical का इंडिया में. So pharmaceutical products, AIDS की बहुत सारी दवाइयाँ, पोलियो की बहुत सारी दवाइयाँ इंडिया से ही जाती हैं अफ्रीका में. Even in the pandemic, WHO requested India that not to stop the production of polio medicines and vaccines because then the other children will get endangered. So India kept on producing that. So petroleum products, jewelry, pharmaceutical products, transport equipment and clothing, ये सब हमारे exports हैं. तो इस front पे भी हमने अच्छा किया. When it comes to trading and political scenario of ours is very good. So these are some of the factors which have helped us in taking up in crossing the stage 3 and entering into stage 4. But our stage 4 will still continue because we are in the initial stages of drive to maturity, not the final stages. And it will take another odd, 20 to 25 years to change this scenario for us to enter into age of high mass consumption. Because age of high mass consumption is not only associated with income, it is associated with thought process, political scenario, as well as economic ideologies. So that's that for rostro stages. Yeah, I've given you many examples of the case studies which you can pick up accordingly and can, write a seminar on all these topics. So that's it for today. Uh, After rostro stages, I will start with something else, which will help you in understanding development. I'll give you an assignment, not today, but I have something in mind which I will give you in the next class, not today. For now, you study